Hey Marianne's back with another video. It's 5:47 a.m. Friday morning, April 12th, I believe. And I am waiting to go to work. Getting ready to go to work. I just gotta put my boots on. I think I'm pretty much ready. Anyway, I made a video yesterday, and it was a bunch of multiple ramblings. Unfortunately, it was broken up in 3 different pieces, and I wasn't able to capture just everything, and I felt as though a lot of it I had already covered. Basically, this is, in my opinion, a human trafficking issue initiated by my brother-in-law, Jim Culligan. So, and obviously, I have been scapegoated for very many years because I'm pretty sure he was probably very enthusiastic in manipulating my life. But anyway, now that I pretty much got that out of the way, I want to forget what happened. And, I decided to cut everyone off who was involved in my trafficking. That means my family and Joel's family. Like I said, I feel as though since Joel knew that I was being manipulated and he refused to tell me, that is a huge sign of abuse, and I will never be able to forgive that. Also, that was the reason why I thought back in 2014 that his mother was controlling my life and he wasn't saying anything, so I did leave. And then also, previous to that, he didn't get along with my son. Well, I did come back to him in 2015. I kept thinking, well, maybe, and I also thought he was seeing somebody too at the time. So I did come back in 2015. But obviously it was his mom. I did come back in 2015, and I figured, because we were good friends. I cared about him, right? So I came back, and but then things didn't get better. Things were getting worse, and he was being more and more quiet about it. And then I realized that him and his mother were in that sort of relationship. So now that I know the scope of everything, there is no reason or desire for me to ever go back to that family. Anybody who controls a woman or puts a woman in that kind of situation, what they did, I'm talking about my family and his family, it's wrong, okay? Whether they realize it or not, they've caused me more and more problems. And when I was asking about it, he should have came up and told me. And so that's the biggest form of abuse you could ever go through. So anyway, no, I cut everybody off. Everybody off. No, people I used to work with, obviously family members, and people who are associated with my family, I cut them all off. So, and that's for my best interest. That's the abuse that I can't overlook. So there really isn't anything else to decide. I need to get on with my life. And I feel as though my reputation should be sparkling clean. Aside from things that I did almost 20 years ago and, me giving birth to a child, which I felt as though, even though, I did the right thing, in my opinion, at that time, okay? Based off what I knew. So I'm not going to beat myself up over it. There's nothing to beat myself up over. I did my time, meaning I paid for the things that I did. Everybody has to face what they've done in life. And my consequence was raising my son. And I don't really feel as though that was a bad thing. I felt as though I took the necessary steps I needed to do to take care of my son to the best of my ability, based on my circumstances. And, I didn't feel as though raising my son was a burden. What was a burden was their sabotage. They're attacking me in the workplace and creating all kinds of drama, okay? Especially when it was unnecessary. My first job that I got on my own, and I initiated that particular job. And yet I do recall their presence there, and the mobbings were there. Not quite as bad as, what I experienced over at the Murray's place, but it was bad, okay? So everything that these people have done to me was unnecessary, meaning that they basically are just control freaks that are psychotic. And psychotic people are not very uncommon. So Anyway, and then, like I said, being the scapegoat, their anger towards me is unjustified because, even my brother would get beatings a lot from my dad, old-fashioned beatings, with a branch or a belt or whatever, because he did things that were wrong. So it's not that every kid does something that's wrong. It's just that sometimes when you're in one of those kind of families, the one kid that may have been born out of an unwanted pregnancy gets more abuse than the others, okay? Actually, I don't know. It's just, whatever the case is, my family has no right to be involved in my life, okay? And I don't want to be involved with Joel's family or my family anymore at all. I never really had much dealings with Joel's family anyway. I rarely really had any associations with them. I saw Polly like maybe, I don't know, once every holiday or whatever. And then after that, for a long time it stopped. So I don't have anything to do with them, nor will I ever. I will never feel the need to want to forgive them for what they've done or want to reconcile. The only thing I can say is, I'm letting this go in peace. I do, hope that Joel gets on with his life and that he'll find some sort of happiness. I do. I mean, I realize I feel like he was a victim in a lot of ways, and I don't hate him, but I realize that I could never look or respect him the way that I would want to, how a woman should respect a guy. So, I don't have anything to be reproached for. Not really. So, but do they? Yeah, they do. So just leave me alone. That's all I'm saying. Tanya, Jim, the rest of my family, leave me alone. Okay? Karen Johnson, Steve Murray, fix what you did. Stop this bullshit because I didn't deserve it. Any of it. Okay? Bitching about what my hair looks like is ridiculous. There's nothing wrong with my hair. I dress very professionally. I present myself very well. I'm not guilty of anything that a lot of other women do. A lot of women wear hair extensions, whatever. And obviously, this is just a basic form of grooming. I have done nothing wrong. I have done absolutely nothing wrong. And I'm completely innocent. So, get off my back already. You know what I mean? People have to do what they have to do, And I feel as though I live a pretty decent life. I'm somebody who works hard. I come home. I mind my own business. I don't cause anybody any harm. And I expect people to treat me the same way. Just like, you treat people the way that you expect to be treated. So anyway, I made a video yesterday and it was pretty long. Like I said, it was broken down in like 3 pieces. And a lot of it was me pointing out the faults of Jim Culligan and what he did. And it's like, that's not necessary. It's not. The point is that nobody has the right to sabotage a person's life. Nobody has the right to isolate a person. Nobody has the right to dictate what a person does. Nobody has the right to sit here and try to stay or force or mend a relationship or whatever. If a woman wants to leave, then she has the right to leave, okay? And I'm more than justified in my need or my desire to leave, okay? So let it go. Let it be. Let it rest. It's over. You know what I mean? And my relationship with my former family is over. So just cut me off and forget about it. I mean, there's no sense in trying to fix things because it will never be fixed. You know what I mean? You've taken too much out of my life to sit here and think that there's going to be some sort of reconciliation. So I think that's pretty much all I really wanted to say. I'm getting prepared to do my taxes. Once again, I'm going to have more tax issues because of this situation. You know what I mean? My family has created this issue, and yet they offer me no compensation for what they've done. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, they continually place me in situations where I get further and further into financial problems. It's absolutely ridiculous, So I hope these people start to realize, this town starts to realize and wake up what these people really are, okay? They're psychotic, and what they did was wrong, and you can't justify it. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up. I hope you all have a wonderful day here in the city of Bakersfield, also in other states and wherever other people watch my videos. And I will be back with another one later. Take care.